Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel, and you have tuned into Tips for RAGBRAI Virgins 6 through 10, or part 2. So if you got in the middle of this, it doesn't really matter what order you're gonna see these in. Basically what we're gonna do is we've got 20 total tips. I've divided them into 4 different videos just to try and make it short and sweet, and so you can refer back to them before you start your RAGBRAI journey this year. As I said last time, please subscribe if you want to see more of this and you don't want to miss anything. Go ahead and hit the notification bell. We're going to try and get these out once a week. Last week was when the first one came out, but I don't know when you're watching these. So, maybe it came out months ago, or, this is way in the future. But the deal is we're going to have 4 total videos for the tips, and each video is going to have about 5 tips in it. So you got 20 tips for RAGBRAI Virgins. That's you. That's why you're watching this. And here we go. Oh, tip number 6. Things you should have on your bike for every day of RAGBRAI. So basically, there's the usual stuff that you're going to think of, which is your ID, your medical insurance card, a route map, those types of things. But you've also got to carry a few things to help you out if you get into a mechanical situation. This is still tip number 6, but make sure you've got a way to fix a flat. The 2 most common things that you're going to have happen on RAGBRAI as far as the mechanical goes is your chain's going to fall off at the absolute most inappropriate, inopportune time, going uphill with 72,000 people around you, and you're just not going to go anywhere. Number 2 is a flat. Flat tires are very, very common. See people fixing flats all the time. And if you don't know how to fix a flat and you don't know how to get your chain back on, you should definitely do some YouTube searching. Look for a video. If you'd like me to go ahead and make a video on how to get your chain back on and how to fix a flat, how to make sure you've got the right tube on your bike to put in your tire, I'm happy to do that. Just comment below, and we'll see how many people want to do that. And I'd be happy to do it. All right. With that said, a multi-tool is another thing that you should have on your bike for the day of RAGBRAI. Your seat's gonna get loose. Pedal's gonna get loose. You'll need some sort of a tool, and chances are somebody around you is going to have one, but it's always best to be self-sufficient and, help yourself get down the road to the end of the day. So nobody likes to have mechanicals. They happen. Just try and be prepared as possible for them as they arise. You're not carrying a huge toolbox. Everything you need will fit in a small pouch. Think of that small pouch as about half the size of a standard water bottle. So it can go under your seat. It can go in your extra water bottle holder. You can put it in your jersey pocket in a Ziploc if you want to, but definitely have stuff on your bike so you can get your bike fixed and down the road. Now, the water bottle. Yeah, I know it seems pretty simple. I should have a water bottle. People forget them at the tent. They fall out. You go somewhere to fill your water bottle and you leave it where you filled it. Okay, so have 2. Take 2 with you. And here's what I do. I have an insulated water bottle. I think it's a 24-ounce water bottle. And that's the one I always keep water in. And you can find water in any of these little small pass-through towns as you go into. There's kids selling water alongside the road. There are churches that have free water. There's just water everywhere. You'll be able to find it. Don't worry about running out of water on RAGBRAI. The second thing that I do is I keep an extra water bottle on my bike that I add things to, like a powder to make Gatorade, let's say, or some sort of energy drink powder, electrolyte replacement, that type of thing. And the reason that I separate these 2 bottles from each other is that I find that the liquid that you put into the water to make it the electrolytes and that type of thing seems to really play havoc with that little nipple on the top that you're turning on or turning off to get the water or get the fluid out. And so what I wind up doing is I usually, throughout the year, if you've gone to any bike expo or the bike shop is having a open house or whatever, they got tons of free water bottles they're giving away. And those are the best ones to put your stuff in. Now, if you're taking extra stuff in your water bottle, so let's say it might be whiskey or beer or Fireball or whatever, that's totally up to you. You can figure out your own delivery system on that. But if you're just doing water and doing electrolytes and that type of thing, I would highly suggest having 2 water bottles and just keeping those separate. And, they're easy to rinse out. Like I said, every town has some sort of water station set up. Churches, high school groups, kids on the side of the road, lemonade stands, that type of thing. You will have no problem keeping yourself hydrated. Okay, snacks. Yeah. You're watching a video made by a fat guy telling you about snacks. This is where your life is. Here's the deal. There's tons of little energy boosting snacks and things like that you just need throughout the day. And you can put them in your jersey pocket. You can have a little bag on the bike or something like that, because invariably you're going to want something in between towns, and there's not going to be anything there. You're going to be able to buy pie and bananas and all sorts of things at those little pass-through towns, but always keep about 3 to 5 bars, honey stinger type thing, goo, any of those energy boosting things. Just keep them on your bike and then, replenish them before you go out in the next morning. Take and leave the rest of them in your luggage in your tent, and then make sure you're stocked up every morning before you head out. Okay, the route map. Yeah, RAGBRAI is going to send you a route map. It's going to have all the days on it, and it's going to have the pass-through towns, meetup towns, all those things, the mileages, everything like that. Keep that on the bike somewhere, because it's also going to have the cutoff time for SAG service. So you've got to be at this town by this time, or guess what? If you need SAG, we're farther down the road, and we're not coming to pick up your happy ass. So there you go. Make sure you're through those areas so you can still get SAG if you need it. If you have that mechanical, have a health issue, just don't want to go anymore, that's available to you. All right, number 7, things that you should have on your person for the day of RAGBRAI. So without, I don't think it needs to be said, but yeah, bring your photo ID, bring your state ID with you. Now, also with this, have a credit card, debit card, something like that. I always tell people to bring cash for the day. A lot of vendors prefer cash, and they prefer smaller bills. So don't bring 50s and 100s. Bring 1s, 5s, and 10s. Most of the time, pie's $5, a beer's $5. There you go. You just give them the $5, you walk away, you're a happy camper. You don't have to wait around for somebody to make change. And you are only going to be able to really use your credit cards in an area where you're at, like a convenience store. Let's say Casey's or some local tavern will probably be able to process your credit card. But mom and pop shops down Main Street, they'd prefer cash. And a lot of them, over the years of doing this, a lot of them put signs up, cash only, no card, that type of thing. So just be aware, because you don't want to get hung up on trying to find an ATM in Little Town, USA to go get your $20 so you can, get a few slices of pie. Let's talk about your medical insurance. You should have some medical insurance of some sort. And I have one of these things, the Road ID. I wear it with me all the time on the bike ride. When I travel for work, I have it with me. Basically, if you're not familiar with the Road ID, and this is not a sponsored video or anything, but if you're not familiar with Road ID, go to their website. I will put a link in the description. I think I still have a thing that you can get so much off one of them, but they are well worth it. Here's what happens to Road ID. You are wearing your name, where you're from, whatever information you choose to put on it. So if by chance you can't speak for yourself, people know who you are, and with mine, I've got my medical history written on it. So the ambulance folks, if needed, can actually look up all my records and they'll know, hey, this guy's got a stint because he had a heart attack a while ago. You know, he's allergic to these medicines. You know, that type of thing. So that's really, really important, especially if you can't speak for yourself during a time of an emergency. So Road ID, highly, highly recommended. I've had them for years, and you know what? It's the best thing that I bought that I've never used, and I want to continue not using these things. They're great when you need them, but you know what? We all plan to not need them, so it's just another form of insurance. And like I said, bring your medical insurance. You know, something happens and you get carted off in the RAGBRAI ambulance to the local hospital or veterinarian clinic, depending on the side of the town. And, you know, they're going to want to see your insurance card. So there you go. Be sure to take that with you. And then, you know, we talked about the cash, talked about credit cards, sunscreen, chapstick. You'd be surprised how many people forget that. Yes, back at the tent. Well, I brought it, but I don't have it with me. Well, then you didn't bring it, basically. So we have, you know, these great RAGBRAI tans, you know, where your tan starts about 3 to 4 inches above your knee, and then you got that farmer tan going and everything from your bike kit. Yeah, you know, but those places burn. You know, just take care of yourself out there. Make sure you got chapstick. Make sure you've got some sunscreen, lotion, whatever you use. Also, chamois butter. If you don't know what chamois butter is, okay, prepare yourself. It's the stuff that you put on so you don't chafe in your crotchtorial region. Yes, crotchtorial region, used in a sentence. It's a good day to be alive, isn't it? The deal is, with your chamois in your bike shorts, you're not wearing underwear. Let that soak in for a minute. Not the chamois butter, but the fact that you're riding along with several thousand people who are not wearing underwear. So basically, that's what you just signed up for. Congratulations. Your parents would be very, very proud. But I will tell you right now, that chamois butter is killer. You want to get a few of these little containers. They're like a squeeze tube. It also comes in this big, like, quart size bottle, but my goodness, nobody wants to be carrying that thing around all day. People will laugh and point. Probably rightfully so. But just get the little ones and, you know, discreetly put them into your jersey pocket, someplace on the bike that you can have a, you know, like where your snacks are. Do not get them screwed up with the snacks. No nutritional value in chamois butter. So all sorts of kinds. I'll put a link to a couple in the description, and then we'll go from there. Anti-chafing cream's another thing. They make it in kind of a roll-on type deal. It's a glide. Some people find that, you know, depending on how their clothing fits and that sort of thing, that they are actually needing to put that on too. But you're going to work this out during your training. Don't just, you know, fly into Iowa and think, okay, I got everything I need. Training is to get miles, but it's also to figure out, man, why do I hurt? Why do I chafe? How can I stop this? You know, that type of thing. So figure that out. Believe it or not, local bike shop, once again, great resource. Obviously, if you want to post on the internet that your crotch hurts and you want some sort of advice from total strangers, good luck with that. But yeah, I know it's kind of weird. Things that you need to have at camp. And we're not talking about, you know, the main stuff like, you know, you need to have a nice air mattress and all that sort of thing. We'll talk about that later. But these are a couple things that will make your time in camp just a little bit better. So be sure you have a brick. And what I mean by a brick is something that you can charge your devices in overnight in your tent. Whether that be your phone, your Garmin, whatever it is, make sure you have that with you. The second thing that will also need charging up is a headlamp. That headlamp is great for trying to find your tent in the sea of tents at the main campground after you've seen the band, or in the middle of the night when, if you're like me, you have to get up and go to the bathroom. So if you're in a charter situation, all the damn tents look the same. And so even though you know you're in tent 121, the little tag that they put on it is really hard to read when you're coming back. Was I in the 6th row or the 7th row? Am I 5 tents down, 4 tents down, that type of thing. So to alleviate that problem, I have a little puck light like this, and I think I got this one at REI back in the day, and I just hang this up on the outside of the tent. It's got a little hook there, and you can turn it on low, and then I just, go to the light, Carol Ann. That's basically what I'm doing. It kind of takes out the thinking thing because I've just had a traumatic experience because I had to go to the bathroom. So, that's kind of the way it goes. I always suggest having that headlamp. This is kind of the bonus round, but really, all honesty, they take up no space. These are going to take no space up in your luggage. And again, have a couple bricks so you can carry those with you and then charge them up. You can even charge them up in your suitcase over the time that it's in transit as far as that goes. So that's a pretty solid little tip. Speaking of getting up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, bring some shoes that aren't your bike shoes. Bring some slides, some Crocs, flip-flops, whatever, something that you can easily get into quickly and wander down. You don't want to be walking to the Kaibo in the middle of the night barefoot, because although we'd like to think everybody made it to the Kaibo, there's probably a few that didn't. And then you kind of hope, gosh, it's really dewy in this section. Yeah, no, it's not. Cover your feet, You're going to need them the next day. So definitely carry some slides, shower sandals, something like that. And of course, you'll use them when you're, showering, things of that nature. It's always good to get out of your bike shoes at the end of the day. And if you're going to go walk around town, maybe you want some a little more supportive shoes than flip-flops or Crocs, but you know you. So just pack whatever you're comfortable with as far as that goes to make your camp experience a little bit better overnight. So you wake up ready, refreshed, and ready to go the next day. The other thing that you should have, and this I should have put first, is earplugs. Yeah, earplugs. Just go to Home Depot, Walgreens, wherever everybody sells earplugs, and you're going to need them because the amount of farting and snoring and just groaning and other unidentifiable noises that happens in the tents around you is just freaking amazing. And the symphony of zippers going up and down, and I'm assuming they're on the tent, but that's for you and your God to figure out. But the deal is, get out there and mute that stuff away. If you want to go the route of noise canceling headset or earbuds or something like that, that's another thing you have to charge. The things that I'm talking about are these little plugs that you just stick in your ear. Sometimes they have a string between the two. That way they don't fall all the way in. But other than that, man, just keep those with you. So right now, just to review, we're taking some flip-flops, headlamp, some sort of light so you can light up, your tent so you know where you're going, and earplugs. So that's going to make for a nice night there. It's always good to have an extra beverage in the tent, or a bottle of water too. Take an Nalgene. Nalgenes really don't leak. You can throw them in your regular luggage and get it toted on down the next road to the next campsite. All right, number 9, things to be aware of when riding in a group. Group riding dynamics are very, very different than you just being solo or out with a couple buddies on a weekend. So we're talking about thousands and thousands of people, and everybody's going the same direction, and it really can get quite confusing because people are getting on and off the route for various different reasons. There's Mr. Pork Chops over there. There's ice cream over there. There's a band. I mean, people. Most of the stuff is on the right, but every once in a while there's something on the left. And if you're going to be riding down in a group, it's good to call out that you're leaving. So if you ride down the road and say, biker off, bike off, people know that you are heading to that right side. Also, don't try and do it from the yellow line. Don't try and do it from the middle line, you know? Get over as far as you can and then start making your exit off the route. Now, if you're going left, freaking put your hand up and say, you know, biker off left, biker left turn, that type of thing. And then when you go to get back on your route, bike on, biker on, that sort of thing. You will hear this all the time. And those are the people that are veterans at riding RAGBRAI and riding in big groups, because communication is key. And I will put a link in the description to a thing that is on the RAGBRAI website. It's from the Des Moines Register, and it's called Ride Right. And it gives you a lot of really good information on riding right. And right is correct, and right is also being farther to the right on the actual route. I was told this on the first time I rode RAGBRAI, and I've always thought it's held very, very true, and that is this, that the slower you go, the farther you should be to the right. And hold your line. Do not, meander all over the place. People are coming up behind you at various different speeds. If you don't have a mirror or you're just not paying attention, it's easy for somebody to go around you and get around you safely if you are on a consistent path. If you're just holding your line, you should pass people on their left. So again, just like if you're out in the forest preserve or wherever you're biking, where there's also people and hikers, you're going to overtake a person that's walking on your left, coming around on your left, make people aware. Also, if there's an obstruction in the roadway, make aware the other riders around you that there's some rumble strips coming up, or, there's a dead raccoon, or whatever the case may be. Call those things out. The people around you will appreciate it. Now, here's another thing. Try not to pass people on their right. Accidents really happen when you're trying to pass somebody on their right. People are usually used to, even novice riders, somebody passing them on the left, but passing them on the right, it catches people by surprise. We were in the SAG last year, and a girl was coming back from the hospital on the SAG because she got taken out by a rider that passed her on the right. And when he passed her on the right, he cut across and nipped her tire, and that sent her off into the ditch. So, try and pass people on the left. Make sure they're aware of your intentions when you are passing. Now, if you're riding RAGBRAI for the first time, we've got pretty much the whole road. Now, the oncoming traffic is the oncoming traffic, and the Iowa State Patrol does their best to limit traffic, but these are still open roadways. So try and do most of your riding between the middle of the road and the shoulder, okay? You'll see a pace line with like 10, 20 people from a club that are just flying, and they're out on the far left. They're on the incoming side of traffic. Now, they're doing that because they're passing everybody, and it's a lot safer for them. And then that group, if they're riding that fast, that tight, they are really used to riding with each other. So if their ride leader says left or right, everybody's following. So that's just something to be aware of. So try and make this as safe as possible for everybody. And nobody wants to go to the hospital, okay? Everybody wants to get to your tent and complain about shit at night. This hurts, that hurts. Where's the bathroom? Where's the Kaibo? Hey, I just realized I didn't eat yet. I wonder if anything's still open. All those things. Have those great stories. Have those great stories, but just be really safe while you're out there, and, call out those road hazards. All right, tip number 10, training tips. Now, this isn't going to be what we talked about with Coach ERTL in that 1 through 5, the first part of this series. Download the mileage, follow the guy's instructions. That's perfect. But this is going to be kind of a more safety type thing. While you're training at home, make sure you are visible to other vehicles on the road. Chances are you're going to have to do some road riding in the area you're in, and you're probably very familiar with that, those areas that you're going to ride in. However, anytime I'm on the road, I want to have a red blinky light on the back of my bike during the day with it just pulsing on. I also want to have a light on the front of my bike that is just a white strobe light. That will indicate traffic coming towards me, that there's a bike on the shoulder or on the far right side of the road. And it'll also hopefully make people aware behind me that, there's somebody on a bike here and, please don't run me over. Now you can find these taillights and headlights on Amazon, your local bike shop. They don't cost a lot of money. They're mostly now rechargeable. I think there's still a few that you can put like a AAA battery in or something like that, but it's just going to be something that makes you just a little bit safer for the trip or for the training, I should say. Now, will these be available or needed on RAGBRAI? No, but it's a nice idea to have a light with you on RAGBRAI. Let's say you have that mechanical. Let's say you missed the sag, and let's say you got your shit figured out, and now you're pedaling on down the road to the in town. It could get dark, and if it gets dark, you're going to want to have that light on there, from the back as well. You want to have a red light that's either blinking or on solid so traffic can see you. They know that RAGBRAI went through earlier in the day, but they're probably not ready for some random cyclist to still be out there on the road. So yeah, definitely, it does not hurt at all to have that headlight and taillight with you so you can pop them on if you need to, if something happens and you fall behind and it gets dark. Here's another thing about training. You're gonna be in your local area, you're gonna be training, and if you start to feel stiffness in your back, your hand goes numb, you've got leg pain, any of those things, take note of when it happened. I was 15 miles into the ride. I went pretty hard that day because I was going faster than I normally did. Or I was starting my hill training and, my calves are killing me, whatever the case is. Yeah, you can take some vitamin I, some ibuprofen, and help yourself out. But the people can probably help you the most with that is your local bike shop. You probably just need an adjustment. You need something adjusted on your bike. The seat's too low, seat's wrong angle, stem's too short, your reach is too long, whatever the case is. Stop by your local bike shop and go, hey, I have been training for this RAGBRAI thing out in Iowa, and after 22 miles, man, my shoulders are killing me, Your local bike shop probably does bike fits. You might not need a bike fit at that time. You might just need something really simple, like a small adjustment, and they're happy to do those things for you. Most of them do them free of charge. But, results may vary, blah, blah, blah. So make sure it's going to be very helpful for them to find out that, hey, after the first 15 miles, this is what hurts. I ride for an hour. This is what hurts. And they'll be able to help you. Maybe you just need a different seat, My local bike shop I thought I had this perfect seat for myself. And then I realized the more I rode and the longer distances I rode, that seat was killing me. And I didn't realize it was a seat. I thought it was like my bib shorts and all that sort of thing. And I walked in there one day and I said, man, this I don't know, this is just killing me. My butt's sore, blah, blah, blah. And they suggested a different seat. And I have had that seat on that bike ever since, and it's gone several thousand miles, and I don't have those same issues that I did early on. But it's something that I just kind of had to figure out. And posting on a forum is not really going to help you, but going to your local bike shop will. So give them a try. All right, so there you have it. Tips 6 through 10. No particular order. You can watch these videos at any time. And, you know, I hope you're gaining something from this. I mean, I enjoy making these videos and putting them out and passing on some of my knowledge as far as that goes. As I said earlier in the video, if you would like me to put out a video on how to change a tire and how to make sure that you get the right size tube for the tire on your bike and how to determine what that size is, and how to get your chain on, you know, those types of things, I'm happy to make another video, stick it in this series, and then have people watch it. But just stick a comment down in, you know, below there, and let me know that you want that done. Here's another thing we're trying. We got merch. Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird. I'm putting a pre-order together. Back at the Bike Expo, I had about 15 shirts that we got just to kind of test market it. Everybody loved the shirts. So now I'm to the point where I've got to get a pre-order in, and I will put a picture of the front and back of the shirt up here. So I'll just get over here. So there's enough room right in here for the shirt, the front and the back. If you want one of these shirts, just comment below. Tell me what size you want too, because here's the deal. You know, everybody looks pretty much the same on the internet, I think. So you're all, you know, a medium or a large or an XL. But if you need any other sizes, just tell me what it is. These actually are, they're American-made t-shirts. They're from a local t-shirt shop here in the area, and everything's done local. I'm going to be mailing them out myself after we get them, you know, after the order process. So first thing is, tell me what size you want. Hopefully you like the way they look right there. And then also, if you'd like to help out the channel financially, you can do so by the Buy Me a Coffee link that is in the description. It's not a reoccurring thing. It's a one-time thing. I think it's $5. So if you like the content and you want to help me keep going down the road here with this stuff, I'd really appreciate it. The best thing you can do is to like and subscribe, because that helps the algorithm. And as soon as I figure out what that is, I'm sure I'll be really successful with that. But right now, you know, we're a small channel, kind of on hoping that it hits, you know, as far as that goes. Oh, by the way, here's a bonus tip. I went over this last year too. The spork, yes. Take one of these bad boys with you. Just put it in your jersey pocket, because you know what? When you're out there eating at the church or the Cub Scouts, or you're stopping to get some pie or whatever, they got these really crappy plastic forks. And it's really hard to eat a big-ass burrito with a plastic fork. But this little thing, titanium spork, yeah, that thing's seen some action. So definitely get you one of these. You can get them at any Outfitters. Bike store probably wouldn't have them, but yeah, this one's been this one's seen a lot of stuff, as they say. All right, so that sums it up for this one. The Spork and I thank you for watching, and until next time, get out there and take care of your dash, and I will see you on the trail. In case you wondered, and I know there's somebody that's actually caught on to this, but yeah, that bike's different than the last one. That's a Schwinn Corvette from, I believe, 1958. So last one was a Schwinn Tornado from 1957. And yeah, keep your eye peeled back there. There's going to be different bikes. And yeah, all these will work on RAGBRAI too. So it's just going to be a struggle. But yeah, they'll do it.